Bought by the Gupta family in 2016 in a controversial deal with Eskom, Optimum Mine has hardly been out of the headlines, and now, after cable thieves invaded one of the shafts, resulting in a lethal gas explosion, the mine is back in focus. Optimum is under business rescue, but the mine has been stripped and workers haven't been paid. What's gone wrong? The business rescue practitioner gave us the inside scoop.
Gloria Shaft, 𝗀𝗵𝗶𝗀𝗏 Mine, Mpumalanga. Just over a week ago, 22 cable thieves climbed down through these huge air vents and into the mine. The vents are fitted with enormous fans and provide fresh air underground. From up here, nothing seems out of place. But on the ground, this site is a crime scene.
This is the outer cover of these cables, so they're massive cables. This is the armoring that protects it against getting hurt. And all they want is those three cores, those three copper cores out the center of the cable.
Michael Elliott is 𝗀𝗵𝗶𝗀𝗏's chief operating officer.
This is a twin overhead power line over here. What they do is they cut the poles, the wooden poles, and the steel stay wires. The weight of the overhead power line snaps the poles, puts them on the ground, that trips out the Eskom power. They then cut through the copper cable that connects the overhead power lines to the transformers behind us. This is 22,000 volts coming in here. Once the power is stripped out, we can't see at night time. They start to dig up the cable supply and they go and sell it to second-hand metal merchants.
They also knocked out power to the entire mine and destroyed the transformer.
When our security and the police react, they go to one area. These guys start stripping in another area, and when the police and our security gets to the area that they're going to defend, these guys evaporate into the darkness.
In this battle against organized crime, the mines, Eskom and the workers are all losing out.
It's incredible because we can't just start up the mine again. We have to now go along and spend 50 million rand trying to fix this.
By cutting the electricity, the cable thieves underground had inadvertently sealed their own fate.
As soon as the fans stopped running, the methane gas inside the mine bubbles out of the coal, out of the floor and out of the roof, and it's because the mine is stagnant, it starts to collect. And these guys were about 1.5 kilometers to the north from this shaft, and somehow they ignited the gas underground and there was an explosion.
The explosion, about 1 kilometer away, blasted the doors of the vents open. But this latest assault on the Optimum Mine complex was not the first. In June 2016, Carte Blanche exposed how Eskom executives helped the Guptas company 𝗀𝗃𝗃 buy Optimum, its export entitlement, and its sister mine 𝗀𝗵𝗶𝗀𝗏 with an irregular 600 million rand prepayment. At the time we filmed these Optimum aerials, Gupta management had only been in their offices for 3 months and the mine was still operational.
But that picture has changed completely. The Guptas left destruction in their wake, and the future of this mine hangs in the balance.
Now it's under business rescue, and Louis Klopper is one of the practitioners. For 12 months, he has followed the money trail.
The amount of money they took out of that mine, if that was reinvested in that mine would have been the flagship coal mine of South Africa today.
It happened in such a short space of time.
2 years. I'm on record when we appeared before the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee that I said, and I stated, that these people never came to South Africa to do business. They came here to steal. And I am still of that conviction.
Eskom's generous prepayment wasn't the only favor they did for the Guptas. 𝗀𝗵𝗶𝗀𝗏 Mine was included in the Optimum deal, and soon after, Eskom awarded this mine with a 7 billion rand coal contract. Miner 𝗀𝗵𝗶𝗃𝗏𝗃 worked underground there.
So tell me what happened when the Guptas got involved.
Yeah, I can say Guptas, we're working with the criminals. That's criminals, definitely. They are smooth talker. They come, actually, they tell you what you want to hear.
But the miners soon realized this was mining Gupta style.
Okay, we were getting paid. But you can see that this ship is sinking slowly. Yes, every month we're getting paid, but you can see that the ship is going down.
And you can't cut corners in mining.
Never. You cut corner, people will die. That's simple. I think the only thing that they just wanted their coal. That's all.
Gupta executives pushed their miners hard to increase production, but refused to spend money on essential maintenance.
Did they buy any new machinery?
Never.
On the Optimum mine, 𝗀𝗶𝗶𝗴𝗶 drove these huge dragliners.
The bakkies we drove to the machines, that was in a terrible state. Sometimes you will drive, then one wheel will somewhere come off.
Working dragliners were stripped for spares.
The equipment that we're talking about is production equipment that was butchered. If they were short of a part on one machine, they decided to park another machine off and start stripping that to keep the other two machines going.
Skimping on their machines was one thing, but the Guptas also put the safety of their miners at risk.
There wasn't any gloves, there was any goggles. Yeah, it was just terrible.
It was the same story underground.
Underground it's dusty. We have to have put dust mask. If there are no dust masks, we cannot go underground. If the velo light, the light that shows that, okay, there's ventilation underground, are not functioning, we cannot go underground.
You mean things as serious as that?
There were a time where we can't go underground, yes.
And then when the guys say that's it, we're not going underground, then what would happen?
Then they will try their means. You see, they will try by level best to find whatever was, I don't know where to find.
Scratching, but...
Scratching, and then they find and put it in, then it will work.
The Guptas claimed that whilst they operated the mine, they complied fully with safety regulations. By February last year, no bank would operate an account for any Gupta company. That meant trading recklessly, so 7 of their companies went into business rescue.
At least we are being rescued.
Yeah.
At least we are no longer in Gupta's hands.
Klopper was under huge pressure to evaluate if the businesses could be saved. Optimum, they concluded, could be rescued, but the state of the mines was shocking.
Absolute disaster, an absolute mess.
Not so, according to the Guptas, who claimed that they ran the mine very successfully. They accused the business practitioners of running the business into the ground and being paid massive profits.
Absolutely nonsense, because our fees are regulated and our books are open.
The Guptas have now brought an application to court to have them removed. Louis claims that this is just a continuation of the saga of over 40 cases based on similar spurious claims that were all dismissed with costs.
Once the mine was in the hands of the business rescue practitioners, their job was to stabilize the finances and find a buyer as quickly as possible. They also started to investigate where all the money went.
It was very clear from an investigation into the books and records of the company that there was wholesale theft of cash.
So did they use Optimum Mine as a cash cow from the very beginning?
Yes. Millions of rands transferred from Optimum into Oak Bay there was no documentation, no reason, just a simple transfer of millions of rands.
It seems to me that you're describing plain and simple fraud. Is this fraud?
By the Gupta companies? Absolutely. There is no other word for it.
The Guptas deny this. When it became clear to the business rescue guys that the Guptas were trying to hold on to the mines through front companies, they say they were barred by the Guptas from entering these offices.
Are the Guptas trying to sabotage the sale of Optimum?
It appears so, because Oak Bay is not going away with their court applications, preventing us from selling this mine. It's very clear that they're still taking instructions from Dubai.
Klopper believes the Guptas are behind 80% of the cases they have had to fight, and that delayed the sale of the mines. Money dried up, and the miners lost faith in them.
In the beginning, we thought it was going to be, it will be better. But eventually we see that there's nothing different here. These BRPs and Guptas, there's not different.
For 3 months now, the miners have not been paid. Cars, homes, even lives have been lost. Feed the Miner was started by 2 local women who saw how desperate things had become. 𝗀𝗵𝗶𝘀𝗿𝗆 is one of them.
We try to give everyone a posa every second week, but now we started weekly.
What was December like for you?
December was like Black Friday.
All the credit cards, everything, the savings, it's up now. It's this month, the rent, I don't know. We're going to struggle to pay the rent this month. You can look in the cupboards, in the fridge, there's hardly anything left to eat. We depend more on feed of the miner.
Late on Wednesday, rescue efforts for the cable thieves got underway. Families waited anxiously outside the mine.
And how much has the rescue operation cost thus far?
It's cost close on to R1 million.
7 bodies were recovered before the teams were recalled. Dangerous gases made it impossible to continue. But the miners are furious. Rescue efforts of cable thieves seem more important than their own hardships.
When we're crying, nobody, no one came to us. To be heard, you must be a thief, or to be heard, you have to be a criminal. So which means the person who have right, it's a criminal.
Now as time, money and patience have run out, the sale of these once proud mines are more important than ever.
We're working on our plan B. We should have a solution very shortly.
And shortly is 3 months, 4 months?
Within the next month.